When you talk about abstract expressionism, you're really talking not about a consistent tendency, but about a variety of people who broke into their own voice or their own manner at roughly the same time under circumstances which influenced how that happened, but in each case it happened differently.
I think everybody from 1945 on is looking for some sort of sense of salvation in the aftermath of World War II. And I think the modernists who came of age during this time period, everybody from Jack Kerouac to Allen Ginsberg to the abstract expressionists themselves, are trying to find a way of salvaging themselves in what was, for them, a very catastrophic landscape. There is this sense that the individual self needs to find some way of communicating to the world and to others in a new way.
The exact composition of the abstract expressionist movement is still a matter of debate, but over the decades since 1950 there has emerged a general consensus about a handful of key names. We think of Jackson Pollock, Willem de Kooning, Franz Klein, Mark Rothko, Robert Motherwell, Arshil Gorky, and last, but certainly not least, Clifford Still.
The memoirs of Still and Pollock and others describe very passionately the importance of painting. And one by one, they all developed this highly autobiographical signature style. And I think those American artists, for all their differences, have many important properties that do bind them together. Almost all of the abstract expressionists by 1950 started to work in a scale that was somewhat unprecedented for a studio practice. Through scale, you could actually be in the painting. In fact, that's a common phrase that they would use, is what it's like to be in the painting. It becomes an environment that you become of. The other quality that I think binds this group of artists is what's often referred to as all-over compositions. The idea that in traditional art, there's usually a central image or subject, whether it's a portrait or a still life element, that is the center of our attention and probably the subject of that painting. In abstract expressionist compositions, the entire composition is the image. It's one thing. And so the left corner is equally as important as what's going on in the center. Or in the case of Clifford Still's work, there's little touches of color that make appearances almost in surprising ways to draw attention to the entire surface of the picture. So our eyes are continuously moving over these abstract expressionist paintings, trying to find an image to rest on, but in fact that's part of the game. We're constantly moving over these images just as the artists were as they were painting them.